It may seem crazy to a lot of us that 2013 is just about here. And I know that technically there's really no difference on January 1st from December 31st as far as time of year or whether or not it's a better time to make a change or do something different. But just our nature, we just have the feeling of a time of refocus, a time to have a fresh start, a time to do something different. And one thing that I've noticed over the last few years as I talk to people about resolutions and setting goals is that most of the time people just say, I don't do that stuff anymore because I never keep it. It doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't make a difference in my life. And one thing I'm going to encourage you not to do is to get caught up in the ache of the ordinary. You know, a lot of us deal with stuff day to day. We may not be exactly where we want to be. But you know what? Why not change it? You know, it's so easy to just sit back and look at the economy or look at the world that we live in, or deal with the uncertainties of the future and just be complacent and just settle or just convince ourselves that nothing's going to get better. And here's what I want you to think about. No matter how bad all those things get, and I'm not even really sure what that means, but no matter how bad the environment or the circumstances or the economy or the banking system or any of that, no matter how bad those things may appear, there's really only one truth in that. Number one, you're responsible. So the results that we find that we're living right now, or where we find ourselves in life, we're responsible for it. No one else. And the beauty of that is the fact that we're also in control. And so what I would encourage you to do is to look at a few areas of your life. So look at your career, look at your profession, look at what you do for a living, look at your financial situation, look at your relationships with your wife or with your children, look at your fitness levels, look at your spiritual life, look at your recreational or your social life, and take a moment just to grade yourself from 1 to 10 on where you think you are versus where you want to be, and just be real. Like, just for example, with your relationships, 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely horrible, 10 being the best imaginable relationship you could ever have, and just be honest and see where you are. And then as we get into this new year, take some time to actually have a plan to change it. It's not up to anyone else but us. And for you right now, we're doing the same thing at Elevation. Brooke and I just went through the same thing this past week to really look at where we are in our lives and where we think we would like to be. And then we have to set an action plan in place, and we have to put goals down, and we have to put implementation strategies to make it happen, because I want to have an amazing marriage. I want to have a great relationship with my kids. I want to have a huge impact in this town, but there's a huge difference between what we want and what we have, and that's based on the responsibility that we own and the action that we take, and it's up to no one else. So please, as we get into this new year, as we start talking about resolutions and what we're calling revolutions this year at Elevation, just take responsibility. And it's just time. It's time for some of you, and what we're going to try to do is help you in certain areas that we think would be beneficial. So like as we get into January, we're going to be focusing a lot with weight loss and really helping you to transform as far as your energy levels and how you feel physically, and how that transfers over into your daily life and your energy levels and the impact you have within your circle. But at the end of the day, it is not up to us to make sure that you experience and enjoy yourself and have the life that you should have. And here's the thing, I also know that the saddest thing is what might have been. And it's very frustrating for myself and for my family and for you too, I'm sure, to know what your potential is and what you could achieve and how awesome and how great your life could be, but then being frustrated with the reality that you see. And so as we get closer to this new year, please refocus, set your goals. Ask yourself, what would you like to see happen in the next 6 to 12 months? And then realize that there's only one person that can make it happen, and that's you. So just tap in and stay encouraged, and just start thinking forward right now, because starting in January, we're going to start to really look into action steps and mindsets and things that we can do to make this next year the best year ever. Because we can buy into the fact that things are getting worse, or we can just change our perspective and know that there's a truth out there that can be realized if we take responsibility. And man, I know that there's nothing better than that. And when it happens, there's a fulfillment and an excitement that just permeates, and it has an impact on other people. And so, Happy New Year, but make this the best year you've had in a long time, or possibly ever.